A tough Saturday for your team as you knew it could be against a really quality program in NC State. You come up short 56-10. Just what were the takeaways from your team from that game?
Yeah, kind of like we talked about before the game. I mean, this is a game that was really bigger than us in that spot, right? This program at Campbell, what we're growing, only started 16 years ago, and so the thoughts that many started this program that was non-scholarship football the first couple years of its existence, to think that that we could be on the same field and the same stage as NC State. There's a lot of people that believed and had to work really hard to get us to that place. And so that was a big moment for us, the university. It was a big moment for us, the program. Obviously, you're playing an ACC team. They're really good, right? They're really talented. But that was also for a lot of other people that have worked really hard and invested a lot into Campbell football to give us that opportunity to be able to play on that stage. And that's a stage that our guys will never forget being able to experience that. And nobody wants to talk about that, right? Nobody wants to say this or that. But the reality is, there's not many guys that played the game of football that get to play in front of 56,000 people, right? And our guys got to experience that. And that was a great experience for them. I'm happy that they got to experience that. We practiced, we prepared to win the football game, and we made too many mistakes. And when you play a really, really good football team, they take advantage. And if you look at the first quarter, we gave up two touchdowns that were just blown coverages and blown gap assignments. And when you do those things, obviously good football teams take advantage.
How much, like you said, there obviously is a lot of benefit for a lot of your guys to play in that environment. But when you play that level of competition, and I know you're excited to get back to conference play here this week, but I guess they maybe expose some things. Or what are you able to take away from going back and watching that film against that caliber of competition?
Yeah, well, it was neat to see because when you saw our guys do their job and play their technique, they had success against NC State. And so that's one of the things, as a coach, you're always trying to, you see it, but now how do you convince your players of those things? How do you convince them that the techniques that you're teaching them, those are the most important things for them to have an opportunity to be successful? When you turn on the tape and you're playing in an ACC school and we've got them stuffed for a 0 yard gain, or we have an explosive pass when we run our routes the right depth, when we do the right things, and it's successful against an ACC team, man, I think that builds a lot of confidence, and I think it's proof, right? We're in a world today that it's a show me. You got to show me that it works. You got to show me that it's going to be good for me. We were able to show our guys, man, when you do what you're coached to do, when you use the technique, you can have success at a really high level. And that's the message that we were able to take from that film. You look at a punt team, a punt unit that we got a fumble recover, almost got two against them. That's operating at a really high level. If you can operate at a high level against an NC State, the excitement is what are we able to do these last 6 weeks, and how can we compete? And it comes down to us at the end of the day.
You touched on it, but a good start out of the gate where you're able to get that fumble off special teams and cash it in with Cam Hitt and Mike Chandler. That had to put a little bit of juice and a little bit of spark in your sideline early.
Absolutely. And it just goes to show you, if you go out there and you do your job, and you play the game the right way, good things are going to happen. And I think that our guys got to be able to see that. We've been talking about doing your job and then playmakers making plays. And, Day Pettis made a great play. He's our starting Will. He's having a really good season. He's on our punt team. And I think that shows you how important the special teams are to us, our program here at Campbell, that our best players are going to play on special teams and they're making plays on those things.
Offensively, only 180 yards, but you're able to, obviously a tough time for Cam and Mike Chandler and those guys, but you were able to get a backup quarterback in Jalen Ferguson in late, and he goes 7 for 9 in the fourth quarter there. How good was it to kind of see him in that environment?
Yeah, if you turn on the tape, we were able to move the ball sometimes against those guys, and so the simplicity of what we're trying to do, and the magic is in the execution. We got a lot of guys in the ball game. We got a lot of some freshman offensive linemen in the ball game, so to be able to see with that level of competition, and be honest, Rob, it was fun to watch them compete.
Talk about your matchup this week at Hampton and some of the challenges they present.
Yeah, Hampton's a really athletic, talented team. They've had a really challenging schedule, just kind of like we've had a challenging schedule. And so in FCS college football, you can kind of throw the records out. The records are what they are. Everybody plays who they play in that spot. Going to their place, getting a big win this past week against one of their rivals in Norfolk State. They're feeling good after a win right there, beating them at their place. That's going to be a lot of challenges. We're going to have to play really good, sound football. and not be able to give up explosives. And then we're going to have to create some of our own in those spots. And so that's a talented CAA football team. And anytime you play a CAA football team, you know what you're going to get. It's hard to win football games in the CAA, and it's really hard to win football games on the road. And so we'll have our hands full this weekend.
How glad are you to be back in conference play, and what have you learned about your team over this challenging non-conference stretch that you've had?
Yeah, I mean, who in the world says they're thankful to be playing CAA, right? Like, who says that, right? But it has been a challenging 6 weeks for us. It's probably one of the most challenging 6 weeks that anybody's had to have in all of college football. And when you're trying to build a program in that environment, that's tough. A huge credit to our coaches and our staff and our players. The resiliency, the persistence that they've been able to continue to be able to fight through in this spot. I told our team on Sunday, I said, man, we're the only 1-5 team in the country that still has hope. And we have hope and we have opportunities because we get another opportunity coming up this week. And so, now we're able to get back in CAA play. We're fortunate enough to be in the CAA where CAA football games are what matter. And the only thing that we're focused on is finding a way to try to be 2-1 this week in CAA play. That's what we're focused on. What's in the past is in the past. All of what we have in front of us is Hampton this week. And like I said, they're a really good football team, really talented, got playmakers on the perimeter, a big, strong, physical offensive line and defensive line, both that we're going to have our hands full with.